Hi, I'm Andy, welcome to our channel about crypto. In today's video I want to talk about NFTs, and more specifically how NFTs fit in my portfolio and in my investment strategy, why I even started investing in NFTs, and what's my strategy to ensure that I make as much profit as possible on them. So I started getting interested in NFTs last year, like most people, and I've noticed the pattern during last summer when crypto dipped, that NFTs were actually booming during that time. At the time I didn't know enough about them to actually take advantage of it, but I started noticing the pattern. So then when the market started turning, I thought, well, I will learn more about NFTs to be prepared for it when it happens next time, because I assume that it will probably happen. And we are observing this right now. So if we look at the price of Bitcoin, it's been in a downtrend since November. And well, if Bitcoin is going down, it will take down the whole crypto market with it. And of course, we can see it with all other coins in the market. Altcoins being hit much harder than Bitcoin or top 25 alts, but they're all going down. And crypto fear and greed index, well, that stays still in the fear territory. It's been either fear or extreme fear for over a month now. But at the same time, if we look at NFTs, at the volume on OpenSea, well, the volume in January is so far the highest in history, and by quite a margin. I mean, the previous busiest month was August last year. And as you can see, January is already quite a bit busier, and we still have a day or so to go. The volume in the recent days has been absolutely huge. You can see that the volume of NFTs is going up, the fees of course are going up, the number of active traders is going up, and the number of traders overall number of traders registered over time is going up quite rapidly. So NFTs are certainly booming, and to a large degree this is happening because of the price of ETH. When the NFT market was pretty quiet in sort of October, November, well, ETH was rather expensive. It was around $4,000 or $5,000. Right now, ETH is around, well, at the moment it's 1,600. It's been bouncing between just above 2,000 to around 2,600 in the recent weeks. And gas has been quite reasonable recently, actually. At the moment it seems to be 68 Gwei, which is really good. So this helps a lot, especially for people who are new to NFTs, because they of course look at value of NFTs in terms of dollars rather than ETH, or people who may be just simply adding more to their bags. Of course, if you're just simply buying NFTs with the ETH you already have, and you have plenty of ETH, then that's a different scenario, because one ETH is always one ETH. But for the new entrants, these are particularly good conditions to enter the NFT market. So in short, my strategy is to, well, basically when crypto is going down or sideways, I switch my focus largely to NFTs so I can build my ETH position. And then once there is clear sign that the crypto market is picking up, once essentially Bitcoin breaks above its bull market support band, so that's sort of 51, 52K level, then I will shift majority of my interest back into crypto, especially into lower cap gaming altcoins, metaverse coins, and similar projects. But right now, well, crypto is going to shit, so I'm essentially pretty much all into NFTs. So what's my strategy to make sure that I make actually some profits from NFTs? I did mess it up pretty badly at the beginning when I first started in October last year. I thought I knew how to avoid the mistakes, but I still made them. And basically my main mistake was buying a lot of projects at quite high price on the secondary market, the so-called next blue chip projects. Reality is that no one can guarantee what will be the next blue chip project. There were numerous reasons why various projects didn't perform as well as they should. And because I invested a lot of money in them, of course it was quite tricky then to get it back if there was any setback. And of course there's also less room to grow for that project. If something already costs 1 or 2 ETH, of course it can still go up to 10 ETH or more, but there is far bigger chance that the project will go from mint price of let's say 0.1 ETH to 1 ETH than a project will go from 1 to 10 ETH. So right now my strategy is focusing pretty much on getting as many whitelist spots as possible. There are many different ways to do it. I have a membership in a few premium groups, and basically that's the easiest and quickest way of getting a lot of whitelist spots, because the owners of those groups, the founders of those groups, they essentially get a lot of whitelist spots for their members, and then they are being raffled amongst the members of the group. So you may want to check out Ryan D. Crypto, Sheldon Evans, Journey, Kosher, Bento Boy, and many others. Another really good way is participating in various giveaways on Twitter or Discord. And it may seem like it's pointless, but at the end of the day, well, there will be always at least few spots given away to sometimes just a few thousand of people. So your odds are actually not too bad. And I won quite a few whitelist spots this way. And then of course, well, there is also grinding in Discord, where you just simply have to be very active and helpful and so on, but that takes a lot of time. Often you can get whitelist spots for things like creating fan art or promoting the project. It varies from project to project, but there are always few different ways you can get the whitelist spot. So depending on how much time you have or what your skills are and so on, you can pick something that's most suitable for you. So when you're getting an NFT, first of all, well, you have to figure out why you're buying that particular NFT. And there may be a few different ways. There may be projects that are simply really on trend and you just want to flip it for profit. That's very often the case. So at the moment, something like CryptoChicks is really popular. It went up from like 0.2 or 0.3 ETH to around 2 ETH in the last few weeks, couple of weeks in fact. And this project's been around for quite a while. It actually launched in May 2021, but because recently the narrative changed to either women-led project or women-themed project, suddenly this started picking up massively. Another popular trend at the moment is artwork that's anime related. Something like Azuki, I mean, this is extremely successful project, but there are a few others that follow the same theme, and they are likely to perform really well because it's exactly what people are looking for at the moment. And of course, a lot of people cannot afford spending 8.5 ETH on an NFT. Killer Girlfriend, another project that's very much on theme and it's combining both of those themes I've just mentioned a moment ago. So it's something to do with women and something anime based. And again, it's doing really, really well. You have to be aware though that those trends change very, very quickly. In the last 3 or 4 months, we had trend for pixelated art, for 3D art, animated NFTs, women-themed NFTs, anime NFTs. There were a few other smaller trends in between. So you have to be very careful, especially if the project has still few weeks to the release date, because you may find that you're spending a lot of time grinding for a project or trying to get into a project, and then you find out that actually by the time it's released, well, the trend changed completely and the project flops. The next reason to get an NFT may be because of its utility. So we have something like Nostalgia by Your Mom's House, which is a project created by Sheldon Evans, a really popular crypto YouTuber. And the floor price here is quite high, it's over 2 ETH, but it's not about that NFT being particularly unique. There are only actually 5 different NFTs in this collection, but any of those NFTs give you access to his private Discord, and because of that you have access then to some alpha information, you have access to giveaways, whitelist spot giveaways for other NFT projects. There will be giveaways of actual NFTs, so basically you're not buying an NFT just because of artwork or its rarity. You're buying an NFT because it gives you access to a private community. It's similar with Neo Tokyo Citizens or now with Neo Tokyo Outer Identities, where again, owning one of those gives you, well, first of all, if you initially own just an identity, then you are eligible for a number of airdrops if you held them. And also it gives you an access to a private alpha community, which brings a lot of value. The next reason may be getting something on a secondary market because it's an already established blue chip project. Something like the Doge Pound is a really good example. It's probably one of the cheaper blue chips. Price at the moment is bouncing somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5 ETH. And it's one of the best known brands in the whole NFT space. So there's pretty good chance that buying one of those is a reasonably safe investment because it should just continue going up in value. Something like Bored Ape Yacht Club is another good example, although floor price here is absolutely ridiculous, but a lot of celebrities are buying those. So of course, well, the value keeps going up and people want to buy them, or their derivative collection, which is Mutant Ape Yacht Club. You have to be aware though that there are many new projects showing up which are supposed to be those next blue chip. Well, blue chip status is not really something that you can predict in advance because it's just proven with time. It's essentially a project, and same thing applies to stocks, to crypto, to anything. You can only really confirm that something is a blue chip project when after a certain period of time, after ups and downs in the market, this particular project is still holding value. You cannot really say that something that's upcoming is going to be a blue chip because it's not proven yet. Yeah, it may well be the next blue chip project, but there is absolutely no guarantee that it will perform equally well as some of the more established ones, if that makes sense. And then finally, you may just simply want to get an NFT because, well, you just want a cool profile picture. That's absolutely fine, but I think it's really important to be honest with yourself when you're buying into a project, why you're buying that particular NFT. If you want a Bored Ape as a profile picture, well, it's a bloody expensive profile picture, right? If you're getting something like, I don't know, let's say Nostalgia, well, the mint price was 1 ETH. It was an expensive NFT to get in the first place. But when buying an NFT like this, an NFT with utility, you have to decide, do you want that utility, or you're hoping that the price will go up? In this case, well, you could quite easily sell it and make 1 ETH profit if you bought during the whitelist. But you have to essentially know what's your plan, what are you planning to do with it. I think it's important to not get too attached to your NFTs. People tend to get attached to any investments they make. It's sort of their confirmation that they made the right decision, or sometimes they simply believe in the project and so on. And that's great, but you have to remember that first and foremost, this is supposed to be an investment, if of course you look at it this way. And with NFTs, it's particularly tricky because there can be some really cool pictures that you don't really want to get rid of, especially if you're planning to use it as a profile picture or you just enjoy having it in your wallet. So you have to be careful that you don't hold something just because you like it, you like the way it looks. And that will then cloud your look at, well, what's a sensible investment decision, whether it's better to sell it right now because it's the right point in the market, or yeah, whether it's worth holding it. Of course, if it's worth holding it, then, well, by all means hold it. But if the market conditions are perfect to sell it, then you have to make that decision. Do you want to have something cool in your wallet or as your profile picture, or do you just want to let it go and secure that profit, because it's not guaranteed that it will go back to this price in the future. The next thing I think that's really important to be aware of is a lot of people, especially when they are new to NFTs, if they get a whitelist spot, they get that NFT, but then you have to wait for a reveal. Sometimes it happens straight after all the NFTs are minted. Sometimes you have to wait a few more days. And a lot of people will hold it until the reveal because, well, they either want to see what they got, it's just curiosity and excitement, well, how my NFT looks like, or they are hoping that they will get one of the rare NFTs, which will be, of course, extremely valuable, potentially life-changing money. But the chances of getting that one are of course, quite slim. It's entirely up to you, of course, what you will do, but you have to be aware that the price tends to dips after reveal, because a lot of people will be thinking exactly the same way. A lot of people will realize that, oh, I didn't get a rare NFT, I'm dumping this one while the price is decent and moving on to the next project. Sometimes people will be disappointed with how the common NFTs look like, because very often when you look at the sneak peeks, there will be the legendary ones, the rare ones, the most unique ones. And although sometimes the most common ones actually may look quite cool, very often people are a bit disappointed with that. So overall, this is likely to drive the price down. What I'm trying to say is that the best moment to sell, it's usually just before the reveal, and potentially after the reveal may be a good moment to buy back in at a slightly lower price point. Of course, it's a risky strategy because it's possible that the dip is tiny and it's simply just not worth buying back in because you're not making any profit or possibly making any small loss. But you just have to essentially consider all those possibilities and see how you want to play it, depending on what's your goal for that particular collection. So if you want to trade NFTs with profit in mind, I think there are two main strategies. And which one you pick? Well, it may depend on the project, and of course it may depend on your individual preferences. You either flip them as quickly as possible to secure your profit, which may mean in some cases that you miss out on potentially the project going to the moon, but at least you secure your profit and you can move on to the next thing. Or you hold it and then it either moons, or you hold it down to zero. Or you use a combination of both depending on the project. Initially when I got into NFTs, I was very much like, okay, it was quite bearish market. I thought I will be holding those NFTs because eventually the prices will pick up. It didn't necessarily pan out this way. Some projects went up, some projects went down, some went down. After I sold them, they went up. It was really hard to predict what will happen. Recently, my strategy has been completely different. We are in an NFT bull market. Prices generally go up quite rapidly. A lot of projects are doing really well. So if I have a whitelist spot, I try to secure my profits as soon as possible. Yes, it means that I will miss out on some potential gains, but so far this is being much more profitable than my older strategy of holding and hoping that the projects will go up in value over time. When you sell, it depends on you, but from my experience, two best moments to sell are either during the public mint. If there is a public mint, essentially depending on the minting process, it's at some point during the mint or right after the mint is finished, when FOMO is likely to kick in. Essentially when people cannot get that project anymore, they cannot mint it on public or private mint, so they have to buy it on secondary market. That's when the prices tend to go up quite a bit. If there is no immediate reveal, as in shortly after or almost straight away after all the NFTs were minted, then usually the prices may start going down a little bit and start picking up just before the reveal. After the reveal, straight after the reveal, the prices are likely to dip. So basically I'm trying to either sell as soon as possible at some point during the mint, or straight after the mint is finished, or shortly before the reveal. And at the moment my strategy is to basically secure as many whitelist spots, mint the NFT, and then secure profit as soon as possible. This is particularly effective strategy also if you don't have huge amount of ETH and you want to increase your ETH position, or maybe you have plenty of ETH but you don't want to risk too much in NFTs. So you just set yourself, I don't know, anything from like 0.1 to 1 or 5 ETH or whatever is a sensible investment for you into NFTs. And then you just tell yourself that, well, this is the amount I'm going to spend on NFTs, nothing else. And basically your goal is to make this amount bigger. So I think this is the best way of seeing it, rather than just spending your ETH on more and more projects. Basically get into the project, secure profit, move on to the next one. In an ideal scenario, if you get a whitelist, you may be able to mint 2 or 3 NFTs, although at the moment it's more and more common that you can only mint 1. But if you can mint 2 or 3, that's ideal, because then of course you can sell one really quickly, get back your investment and hopefully a bit of profit, and then hold another 1 or 2, hoping that the price will go up in the future. But if you only have one, my personal strategy is to flip it, secure the profit, move on to the next thing, build as much ETH as possible, and then once the crypto market shows clear signs of trend reversal, just go all into small cap alts, especially in gaming and metaverse space. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. It's a little bit longer than I originally wanted, but it is quite a lot of content, especially if you are new to NFTs. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section. I'll try to help you with them. Otherwise, if the video is helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.